Rangers could be on the brink of a significant shift behind the scenes as new developments emerge ahead of the next transfer window. With squad balance, finances, and future planning all coming under the spotlight, decisions made in the coming weeks may have a direct impact on how the club moves forward. While details are still coming into focus, the latest reveal points towards an opportunity for Rangers to strengthen their position and create fresh momentum. How that potential boost is achieved and who it affects is now shaping up to be one of the key talking points around Ibrox. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Joe Rothwell has, in truth, never quite looked at home at Rangers. Signed from Bournemouth in the summer, his arrival came with genuine optimism, shaped largely by his productive loan spell at Leeds United, where he played a meaningful role in their return to the Premier League. There was a sense that Rangers were securing a midfielder ready to contribute immediately, technically secure, experienced, and comfortable in high-pressure environments. Instead, his time at Ibrox has drifted into frustration and uncertainty. Russell Martin was one of Rothwell's strongest advocates, backing the move and trusting that the midfielder could translate his championship form into consistent performances in Glasgow. However, those expectations have not been met. Fitness concerns quickly became a recurring theme, and since Danny Röhl's appointment, Rothwell's involvement has diminished significantly. Observers have repeatedly remarked that he never looked right at Rangers, a phrase that has come to define his spell rather than any standout moment on the pitch. His last appearance came back in October, featuring in the Europa League defeat to Brann, a match that also marked the beginning of Röhl's reign at Ibrox. Since then, opportunities have been scarce. More often than not, Rothwell has been omitted from the matchday squad entirely, a clear indication of where he sits in the current midfield hierarchy. Competition for places has only intensified. With Mohamed Diomande not heading to AFCON, alongside the continued preference for Connor Barron, Nico Raskin, and even Lyle Cameron, Rothwell has simply been left behind. Across 4 competitions this season, he has made 18 appearances, but those outings amount to just 915 minutes of football. For a player brought in to influence games, that return is telling. Statistically, the picture is equally underwhelming. Rothwell has registered 2 assists and no goals, despite regularly being entrusted with set-piece responsibilities at previous clubs, including Leeds. For Röhl, the numbers underline a broader issue. He believes he can bring in midfielders better suited to what he wants tactically and physically. As one assessment has put it, Röhl knows he can bring in better for what he needs in midfield. That reality has opened the door to a potential exit, with Sheffield United emerging as a serious option. Chris Wilder's return to Bramall Lane has injected renewed purpose, and his recruitment strategy has leaned heavily on experience. The arrivals of Patrick Bamford, Danny Ings, and Ben Mee highlight a clear trend, and Rothwell could be next in line. Sheffield United are understood to be confident a deal can be struck, while Rangers would benefit from a substantial wage saving, freeing up budget for January reinforcements. Rangers are believed to have promised Röhl further backing in the transfer market, and moving on players viewed as surplus to requirements is a key part of that process. With significant dead wood still lingering from Kevin Thelwell's tenure, sales are seen as essential. Rothwell may well be the first to go, but he is unlikely to be the last. Even Youssef Chermiti, despite his eye-watering transfer fee, is attracting interest. For Rothwell, a fresh start looks inevitable. For Rangers, it represents another step in reshaping a squad that still bears the marks of past misjudgments, and a clear admission that this particular signing simply did not work. In other news, McCoist has never been shy about offering an honest assessment of Rangers, but his latest tirade marked one of his most blistering yet. The club's all-time leading scorer was left exasperated after watching the 2-1 defeat to Ferencváros from the commentary gantry, a result that effectively snuffed out any lingering hopes of European football beyond Christmas. What he witnessed, disjointed defending, muddled recruitment, and a team bereft of cohesion, prompted a furious reaction from the 62-year-old, who argued the situation was now so severe that it bordered on farce. The defeat capped off a disastrous stretch that had already seen sporting director Kevin Thelwell depart, alongside CEO Patrick Stewart, following the earlier dismissal of Russell Martin after a run of 1 win in 7 league matches. This wider collapse framed McCoist's anger. Significant transfer outlay has delivered little in return, with £8 million striker Youssef Chermiti yet to justify his fee, and £3.5 million signing fellow Ascar struggling for influence. Even short-term reinforcements, Max Ahrens, Nasser Giga, and Joe Rothwell, have failed to provide the stability or spark expected of them. For McCoist, this pattern of misjudgment is no longer a one-off or a short-term blip, but part of a sustained decline that has left the team weaker and the fan base bewildered. Speaking on TalkSport, McCoist admitted he was stunned by what unfolded against Ferencváros, describing the performance as one of the worst he had seen from his former club in many years. "I'm not winding you up, lads. I was actually shocked at what I was watching," he said, visibly frustrated. "Some of the level of defending was unbelievable, and then you finish the game up front with the centre-half Fernandez and Chermiti. It was just as poor as I've seen in a long time. While the results stung, it was the spending that truly inflamed his criticism. Rangers, he argued, have invested heavily without acquiring players capable of improving the team. See the money Rangers have spent, and it's a lot of money. I'm telling you right now, man, there should be a government inquiry. Honestly, it's unbelievable." His co-pundit Ray Parler reflected on the club's 2022 run to the Europa League final, noting how quickly the trajectory has reversed. That comparison only intensified McCoist's anger as he highlighted the staggering drop-off since that night in Seville. The decline has been absolutely remarkable," he said. "Do you know the big thing? I'll tell you. It's as simple as this, actually. They've brought in 6-7 players, and I mean not one of them is any better than the players that have left the club." He was equally damning when discussing the team's diminished goal threat, pointing out the sheer volume of attacking output that has disappeared. "They've got a few quid for some of them that have left. You've lost 60-odd goals out of your team or somewhere, Cherney, Egerman and Dessers, and I think you've replaced them with guys that have got 5 or 6 goals. I mean, you actually couldn't make it up." There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content.